It's the morning of the last day of a 3-day backpacking trip that has been here in the Escalante area, and it's been a fantastic trip. So I thought I'd go through a very comfortable, very enjoyable early season, springtime-ish gear loadout with you that came in at about 30 pounds total pack weight. That includes my camera gear, everything, 30 pounds, but let's dig into it. The pack that I am carrying is the Outdoor Vitals CS40. This pack has been pretty impressive. There are some things that I would change on it that I'll talk about in a further review. I unfortunately got a big hole in the mesh, but the ability for this pack to carry 30 to 35 pounds, it does pretty well. I've been impressed with it. It's a comfortable pack. I do have some hip bruising, but what pack doesn't give you bruising on your hips? Let's talk about my tent. This is the Slingfin 2 Light, and Slingfin is a brand that I've been very interested in for a long time. I've wanted to put their products to use in the field and finally got my hands on a 2 Light, which is a really cool design, and I had a great experience with it. It sets up well on Slick Rock as a semi-freestanding tent and has plenty of room for all of my gear inside of it. This was a comfortable experience, and I also like the really short pack size of the poles. So I'm actually able to put the poles and the tent horizontally down on the inside of this pack, which I like because we were doing a lot of bushwhacking yesterday, and I don't love when I'm bushwhacking and I've got my tent poles on the side of my pack. That just gets the bag ripped up and it can cause problems. Sleep system. This is the UGQ Bandit top quilt. Had this in a 20-degree rated, kind of a long, wide option, and this was fantastic. I think I'm sold on quilts again, to a point. I'm going to explain it in a future video why I've gone back to using quilts, but I made some very specific changes to the design of this and the size of it specifically so that I guarantee myself a better sleep experience, and it absolutely worked. And I was sleeping on the new Zenbivy Flex UL sleeping pad. This is also going to be shared in a future video, but 4.8 R value, and I was plenty warm and comfortable on this. This has been a great experience so far. Then I've also got in this bag here a pillow from Zenbivy that has the down topper and the air bladder inside of it. Gives enough height for being able to side sleep really well and have the height that you want as a side sleeper. Okay, let's talk about clothing. On my body, what I've been hiking in is my base layer is the Altitude hoodie from Outdoor Vitals. My pants are the Livsin Eco Trek trail pants, and then my shoes are the Danner Trail 2650 with a Smartwool sock today, but I will talk about the other socks that I've worn for the majority of the trip. I brought 3 pairs of socks on this trip for the purpose of being in the water, really cold temperatures. I wanted to ensure that I always had a dry pair of socks. So these are the Swiftwick Flight XT Trail socks, and then I've got a pair of Paca socks that I've used as my sleep socks. Then I've got a sleeping shirt, which is the Altitude Performance Tee from Outdoor Vitals, and then again from Outdoor Vitals. But these are the Highline leggings for a base layer, like a thermal bottom. I've got a lightweight pair of Black Diamond liner gloves, and then an extra pair of Sax underwear. Then I've got a pair of camp shoes. These are just some cheap camp shoes that I got off of Amazon that are lightweight, very breathable, allow for my feet to just be happy after a really long day of hiking. My mid layer, actually I have 2 mid layers, the lightweight one. This is a prototype from Outdoor Vitals. Doesn't have a name yet, but it's kind of like a grid fleece with other things going on. I can't share much about that. Then I've got my Ventus hoodie. This is one of my favorite mid layers. It does so well in conditions like this where it gets down to freezing, easy to layer up, and it's very lightweight. Then my Arc'teryx synthetic. This is the Nuclei synthetic insulated jacket and this has been a really nice option as well. Okay, cooking. My cook kit is the same as it's been in most of my trips in the past couple of years. I got my orange GSI cup. I've got my Light AF Dyneema pot stack here that has my Toaks 550 milliliter. And I brought on this trip the BRS little tiny stove, a mini Bic lighter, and then my fuel. And that is my cooking, my food bag. It's just a zipper top food bag that is a DIY project of mine, but I've got all that in there with the titanium long handle spoon. I've also got a microfiber towel in there. Here I've got just the little odds and ends, the doodads, my little ground sheet from Hilltop Packs. I love this for being able to have a dry place to sit down. Also change when I take my shoes and socks off. Then my ditty bags. So I've got all of my tooth care stuff in here. This is my toothpaste, my toothbrush, some flossers and such. First aid kit, full first aid kit with actually an extra lighter in there and everything. My poop kit in a Hilltop Packs bag with my Bogler trowel, some wipes, and then some hand sanitizer. A couple other ditty bags. This one is full of all of my electronics for filming, battery banks, cables, and such. And then another little ditty bag that has my headlamp, my permit, my keys, my lantern, and other chapstick and stuff that's in there. My water filtration is the Sawyer Squeeze with a Canuck Vecto water bag. This is the Vecto X. And I did bring the syringe on this trip because silty water here in Escalante, it's just a pain if you don't backflush your stuff. Zoleo satellite communication device. This has been fantastic. Always nice to be able to communicate with my wife, stay in touch with them at home. And then I think, last but not least, my chair. This is the Nemo Moonlight Elite chair, just over £1, and it is a pretty comfortable option. Not as good as the Skyline UL from Big Agnes, but I enjoyed it on this trip because it's nice that the roll-up package for it acts as a ground sheet so that the feet of the chair don't sink into the sand. That's everything that I carried on this 3-day backpacking trip here in Escalante, and links for everything down in the description. Thanks for watching today, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. Have an awesome day. We'll see you later.